Welcome back to the Land Whisperer channel. My name is Chris and I'm a writer of short stories, and I'm also a spiritual land worker. Last week we were delving deep into the peat bogs at the Sweet Track, and this week I'm going to share with you the first place that I had to visit when I was hunting for the Merlin Line. The Chalice Well in Glastonbury has been a spring for over 2,000 years and has flowed ever since. It's been a place of worship and refuge for many faiths during that time. The waters themselves are iron-rich, so it has a characteristic red colour, and that also gives it its other name, the Red Spring. When I was hunting for the Merlin Line, I had to do a series of meditations, and I connected with my new spirit guide, Luke the Syrian, and he told me that the Chalice Well was the first place that I had to come to on this journey to find the Merlin Line. In addition, he told me that I'd need to visit there when it was getting towards dusk, which, because it was November, was around about 3 in the afternoon. And when I got there, I would be told that I had to do another meditation in order to find out where in the garden these physical artifacts were located. Remember that the work on the Merlin Line was for me to actually find 12 different physical artifacts and to bring those to Stanton Drew to complete the work near to the winter solstice. At the same time, I would have to sing a particular note at each location to try and find each of those physical artifacts. What follows next is a report that I made probably about a day after I'd been to the Chalice Well that first time, and it gives you all the details you need to know about the journey and the moment that I was in when I found those artifacts. So I'll see you back in a second. By the time I had reached the well, I had learnt the time I needed to be there through a meditation, which was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon in early November. I also learnt that the artifacts would be in the darkest part of the garden, by the well itself. I was told to be there in the garden, to do a meditation, to pinpoint where the artifacts were. I was anxious, naturally, because I wished to do the recovery as quickly as I could, but the well is open to all the public and I wasn't really equipped to deal with the public scrutiny. The meditation didn't add much more detail except to reassure me to trust my intuition. So I blew the note on the note blower, middle C, away from the well so that I wouldn't attract attention, and hummed it to myself softly as I wandered slowly all around the well. I went to the path beneath the yew trees, but I couldn't feel the artifacts calling me. Next, I went all around that area. The well had several people near it, so I had to be quiet while I was humming. I looked down to see a yew berry shining bright in the darkness and thought it might be the one I needed to carry. I then wandered up to the back seat and sat down. After still receiving nothing, I got up and walked the path above the well once more, and this time I turned my attention to the earthen roots of the yew trees, and sure enough, glowing there in the dark were 4 separate tiny pebbles in between the trees. I picked them up and went back to the seat to see which one I needed to take with me, and I was humming the note whilst I did this. The message that came through was clear. All of them were needed. So I asked if there were any more that needed to come with us, and I saw a 5th stone at my feet. We finally had all 5. After the event, I did a meditation, and it told me my next destination on the Merlin Line. It also said that the pebbles from the Chalice Well were related to the constellation of Pegasus. They needed to be placed on stone number 1 at Stanton Drew when we got there. I remember a message coming through very, very clearly about a day after I'd written that report, and it was from Luke the Syrian once more, and he told me that the stones that I had found at the Chalice Well had to be returned to the Chalice Well once I'd completed my work at Stanton Drew. Much later on in the process, I learned that that was due to energy exchange. If you think of the adage that everything is energy, then Stanton Drew Stone Circle needed the energy of those stones from the Chalice Well to do the work at Stanton Drew at that particular space and time. And then likewise, when I'd completed the work at Stanton Drew, the energies that had imbued into the stones whilst I was doing that work there could then be taken back to the Chalice Well for another type of work to be done that was not related to what I was doing. So I can definitely say it felt like a noble, reasonable and fair kind of thing to do. After all, I'd only ever borrowed those stones. They weren't mine to keep. So I have, and I can safely say that they are returned to the exact site that I found them at the Chalice Well. On a slightly different note, I had a message this time from Mother Gaia whilst I was filming in the garden and allowing you to see those beautiful flowers that are prevalent at the garden. And she said that she wanted this message to come to you. So here's the message, and I'll see you in a second. To your viewers, I ask them to turn inwards to hear my call. Stop your focus on all things outside of yourselves. You are all my children, and a mother sometimes needs the support of her children. Please offer love to yourselves and to the natural environment. You have been told that the state of the world is your fault and that the environmental disasters that have occurred were yours too. This is not the case. Please remember that I love you all and I honour each one of you. Come inside, meditate, and meet me for a conversation. I will speak with you gladly. Remember that everything in your lives is not entirely true. Those that have put themselves in positions above you in society have caused you true pain. Listen to them not, for their time has come. They will blow away like chaff in the wind, for their truth cannot stand against the rising tide of disdain amongst the peoples of the world for them. The inversion is collapsing right in front of your eyes, as the world of the elites is laid bare. Fear not, for though the confusion and despair is real amongst you, the collapse of the system has to occur in slow fashion. For the new energies flooding in through my waters and my land from the galaxy at large are so strong that to allow them to work through you and me at speed would destroy both you and I swiftly. That is why the time needed for change has to be extended to allow us all to integrate the light incarnate. So please endure the chaos and focus on the golden age of frequency that is coming through. And that is happening now. You are all honoured and cherished. With love, live in joy and peace. Welcome back. I think that was a lovely message. I really do. Now, next week, I'm going to take you on a journey just up the road to Glastonbury Tor, where we will be focusing a lot of our attention on another being called Gwyn ap Neath and his associations with the Tor itself. So, until next week, if you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments box. Thanks very much indeed for listening. I pass you unconditional love, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.